welcome back to Body Wise Pilates, and this session is going to be very much concentrating on the core, predominantly the abdominals of the core. I get a lot of requests for people saying, how do I strengthen my core? What exercises specifically target the core? And obviously all the Pilates exercises target the core because we're working from the core outwards to the periphery. But this session, like I said, is predominantly abdominals. So we're going to get started. You only need a mat. Please listen to your body. I will offer some adaptations and alternatives throughout for anything I feel may cause any problems for people with specific issues. But generally we're going to stick at a kind of mid-level. Alright, so just warming up through the abdominals by mobilizing the spine. First we'll just start with your breathing. Inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. In through your nose and out through your mouth, sending the breath in, back and sides, flaring your ribs. Now every time you exhale, you're going to think belly button to spine and just bring the ribs closer to your hips. And when you inhale, still send the breath in, back and sides. Don't be tempted to send the breath into the chest. We're exhaling, pull up internally your pelvic floor, just round that spine and inhale to come up, arms here. So we're going to exhale, engage and round and flex forwards now, and then inhale, open, exhale, and inhale, breathing out, and in, one more, and in. We're just going to mobilize through the hips a little bit, so what I want you to do is just take the legs open and closed, just let them rock open and closed. And then they're going to both go one way and both the other way, one more each side. And then open and close again. And one more each side. And to center. Sit however you're comfortable with your legs, tailor cross-legged. Exhaling, go into a side bend. Inhale to reach. Exhale, come up. Inhale, bring the arm up. Exhale, go over. Inhale, reach. Exhale up, change again, inhale, exhale over, inhale, reach, exhale up, inhale, breathe out over, inhale, reach, and release. And we're going to get started straight away with the abdominals. We're going to start with the basic ab curls. You're going to lie down on your back head cushion. If you have quite a kyphotic extra curve at the top thoracic spine, or in this position here with your neck, something that makes your head comfortable. Exhaling, rolling up, and inhaling to come down. So we're looking at, remember, bringing ribs to hips. Shoulders relaxed. Pelvic floor each time. Try to do this with the pelvis in neutral, so your pubic bones and your hip bones are on a level plane. I don't describe neutral relating to the back because it depends on the posture of your spine. Some of you with a neutral pelvis might have a bigger gap under your back, some may have no gap at all under the back. Exhale up, inhale down, shoulders relaxed, chin lightly tucked in. 4 more, and 3, 2, and 1, and down. And then we're going to go into the 100. If you suffer with your neck, it's good to do it with the head up to try and get some strength in the anterior neck muscles. If you have any serious issues that you think, no, it's really too much, keep your head down. And we're going to do it in tabletop. So we're going to exhale, engage the abdominals, we imprint the back to the mat, bring one leg up and the other leg up. On the inhale, I tuck my chin in. Exhale, slide the hands away so shoulders come away from the ears, holding this. Breathing in, pumping the arms up and down for 4, and out for 4. Now with the original 100, it's meant to be 5 breath, but I tend to find the number of people that suffer with doing the 5 breath pattern, they really struggle with it, rather, not suffer with it, but struggle with it. So I tend to go with the 4, so it's not really 100, we're missing 1 each time. Those of you who want to make this a little bit more challenging, on the exhale for the pumps, extend the legs, inhale, bend the knees. I'm keeping my chin tucked in. I'm stabilizing my core, using the abdominals, engaging the buttocks and the thighs to extend the legs.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Twice more. Last one. And stop. Head down, arms down, one foot down, the other foot down. Then we're going to go into the roll up. Those of you who know with the roll up you need that little bit of extra assistance with that cushion underneath the lower back. Come up to seated, put the cushion against the back of your hips and come to lying down again. So inhale. I do the roll up as a combination of the neck pull prep and the full roll up. Shoulders down. Inhale, tucking the chin in, starting through to your imprint. Exhaling all the way up, reaching towards the ankles. Inhale, sit up straight, and then exhale, tipping back off your sit bones, rolling down through your spine, and only taking the arms back as far as you can keep this connection. Don't pop your ribs. Inhale, chin, head through imprint. Exhale to come up, reach towards the ankles. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, roll back down again. Now this is where those of you who suffer can have a thin cushion here against your bum, not under your bottom, under your lower back, and it will assist you. Inhale and exhale. Keep those going if you're managing. If you're having to find that you're using a lot of momentum and almost kind of throwing yourself to the seated position, don't do that. Instead, do a half one. So the half one, you will inhale, start it. Exhale to here. Inhale, hold. Exhale, go back down. Okay, that's your alternative. Inhale, exhaling, rolling up if you can. If not, just hold as far as you can go. Inhale, sitting up if you're doing the full one. Inhale, just hold if you're doing the half one. Exhale, roll back down. One more. Inhale to start. Exhale, up. Inhale, sit up. And exhale, roll back down. Fantastic. All right, into the obliques. I need to untie this because it's really annoying me. We're going to have the hands underneath the head. Elbows slightly lifted. Start you at level 1 with the legs on the floor. Exhale, up and across. Your goal is to think about this bottom rib closing the gap towards the opposite hip. Exhale, inhale. Elbows slightly lifted, keeping the arms still. Try and get both shoulders up. You'd like to make this a little bit more challenging. Bring in the hip flexor, bring one leg up each time, the leg you're twisting towards. More challenging still, leave the leg up there, bring the other one up, leave it still, and do it with the legs in tabletop. A little bit more stability required, or your harder version, extending a leg each time. Exhale and inhale, exhale, inhale. One more. And head and shoulders down, arms down, one foot down, the other foot down. We're going into the double leg extension. Those of you who really suffer with weak abs and find that just going into this imprint isn't enough, imprint being the legs up, can start with the legs a little bit closer in. I prefer you to try to keep them over your hips or put a cushion underneath the hips, but more that way than this way. Arms up so you're not tempted to rely on your arms. Shoulders down into the mat. Look to just above your knees. Exhale, pull up internally, engage the core, squeeze the buttocks, and then extending the legs fully straight. And inhale, back to 90 degrees. Exhaling and inhaling. All right, so if you need to have the knees in just a little bit more and extend them a little bit higher, so that you don't feel like your lower back is popping away from the mat when you extend the legs, you can do that. Otherwise here, exhale, inhale. If you're doing it this way and you want to make it more challenging, reach the arms back, but again, without popping those ribs. Exhale, core, buttocks, thighs, reach, inhale, return. 3 more. 2. We're going to hold the last one, so we're not going to do the arms, we're going to keep the arms still, and we're just going to do little flutter kicks. We're just swimming. 10, 9, make sure you're breathing, making sure you're keeping that core engagement. 4, 3, 2, 1, bend, one foot down and the other foot down. Relax your arms. Okay, so now we're going to focus on bringing the hip bones towards the ribs rather than ribs towards hip bones. So we're going to bring one leg up and then the other leg up, and we're going to cross the ankles. Start with the knees over the hips, not too close in. You need to drop the knees away until you feel, oh yeah, that challenge. And not to stop my back coming up from the mat, I have to engage my abs. That's your start position. Arms up or down. If they're down, you find you're doing this and lifting the shoulders and pushing into the hands, please bring them up. All right, we can interlock the fingers, but spread the shoulders and sink them into the mat. Exhale, pull up internally your pelvic floor and think about tightening the abdominals, engaging the abdominals. When they engage, because they connect the pelvis to the ribs, that's where their insertions are, they will bring the hips towards you. But I don't want you to think this is just using momentum and swinging the legs. It's very subtle and it's all about the core. Exhale, breathe out, and in. Twice more with the ankles crossed this way. Of course, rest whenever you need to. Then we're going to uncross and cross the other way and go again. Three more. 2 and 1. Uncross one foot down, the other foot down. So that is the reverse curl, which is basically the prep for the Pilates rollover. But we've done the full roll up, so I don't feel the need to do the full rollover today. We're going to go to the obliques roll back. You can stay on your mat as you are. I'm going to turn this way to create more space and give you a better visual. Legs parallel. Arms out in front, sit up tall, okay, lift that breastbone, relax those shoulders. When you breathe out, think belly button to spine, so you tip back off your sit bones, rolling through that pelvis. Then rotate your torso one way, keeping the opposite arm where it is, and reach the arm back. Inhale to come up in one smooth move. So although it's kind of 3 moves to go to the side, try and make it smooth as if it's one. So first part is to tilt back off your sit bones. The second part is to rotate the torso. The third part is to sweep the arm. The fourth part is to return to the center. So exhale, tilt, twist, sweep, all on the exhale. Inhale up. Be careful with the legs. Sometimes you tend to find they want to go with you or they splay. We need to keep them parallel. Exhale and inhale again. We have 3 more. 2. Your last one. And up. And rest over the legs. Alright, so we're going to do an exercise I like to do that's a preparation for the full teaser, which is a very challenging Pilates exercise. But it's about just finding your balance and your core stability whilst holding a static position and being in a small movement as well through the core. So you need to start in a seated position. You're going to do the belly button to spine, exhale, tilt the pelvis, just roll back over those sit bones. All right? Bring the legs in a little closer. Take the arms away. Think about the shoulders down. Bring one leg up to 90 degrees. Now this is the hard part. Bring the other leg up to 90 degrees. All right. Now from here, we're just going to extend one leg and go ever so slightly back with the body and come up again. So it's a back and a lift. Now this is challenging. Okay, it's very challenging on the hip flexors and the core. Focus more on your core than the hip flexors. If you're thinking this is too much for me, put the feet down, do the tilt back and roll and reach one leg and come back up. So this is your slightly less challenging position. You're still working everything that you need to work as long as you're keeping the technique. For those of you who are happy here, you have 4 more. 3, 2. Last one. And release. Good. All right, we're going to flick over onto hands and knees. And I am going to give you various options here because it can be challenging for different reasons. People have problems with their feet, people have problems with their wrists, all sorts of things. So ideally, the full exercise is going to be this. Hands slightly further forwards, legs slightly abducted, pulling up the abs, squeezing the bottom, and coming up into your plank position here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift a leg and I'm going to exhale, rock back and point the toes, inhale, flex the foot and come forward. So exhale, inhale. See how I'm rocking on my hands? So my shoulder girdle stabilizers are working, my core is working really strongly to protect my back. I'm mobilizing my ankle, working my tibialis and my calf on both legs. Do one more and place and come down. And then do the same thing on the other leg. If you thought that was way too much, bring the hands in, take the knees further apart, lift the legs to this position here. You can either just hold this for as many breaths as you feel comfortable. It's not up here, here with the knees. If you want to make this a little bit more challenging, try doing these. Okay, lifting, exhale, inhale down, as many as you're comfortable with, and then put the foot down. That's your other option. If all of that feels too much, you can basically relax the feet, lengthen the feet, elbows underneath the shoulders, breathe out, pull up through your core, lifting the hips away, shoulders away from the ears, and hold this position, breathing deeply in through your nose and out through your mouth for as many reps as you feel comfortable. So you can stay with this, holding this. You can be still doing these ones, taking a rest when you need to, or your other option is this one here, rocking and pulling, rocking and pulling. So this is a really good core exercise as well. Choose which one you want to do. Do as many reps as you are comfortable with. All right, so what I'm going to do now is there's not going to be, you're going to have some weight on the hands. I know some of you just had weight on the hands, but it's very good for strengthening the wrists. Have the hands facing however is comfortable for you. Now if you roll them in, you can see how my shoulder rolls in, so I'm not too keen on that so much. I prefer the hands to go outwards so you can pull those shoulders back. Our posture tends to be this too much anyway, so this is a better position for the hands and the shoulders. And it's like doing the bridge, but from this position here. So I'm going to have my feet parallel, my knees parallel, lift up through my breastbone. I'm going to exhale, squeeze my buttocks, lift my hips until I'm in my bridge, and inhale to come back down. Okay, so it's exhaling up and inhaling down. Now yes, this is predominantly using your glutes, but as I come up, my transverse muscle here on my pelvic floor, I am focusing on engaging those muscles. Exhale, inhale. If you feel confident enough to hold this one up here and lift a leg up, you can then do a single leg scissor, flexing the ankle, pointing the toes, holding this position. So your core is stabilizing the body from making any other movement other than the leg. And then place, come down. We're going to do the other leg. If you're still just happy lifting and lowering with the bum, that's fine. So we're going to come back up on the exhale. Inhale, bring the leg up and go again. Yeah? One more. Up, bend the knee, put the foot down and bring the hips down. Then I strongly suggest you release your wrists. We are going to do just 2 more exercises because the wrists have had quite a couple of challenges for the last 2 exercises. We're going to come onto the elbows. If this is not a comfortable position for you, you find it's tight through the elbows, all right, you can't do this with chest lifted position, you can lie down to do this exercise with the arms open, and you can do the exercise in this position here, but you will need to make your circle smaller. You won't be able to go so far down. You can do it with the knees bent, And what will happen with the knees bent is you will take more of your workload into your obliques. Just make sure that you do the same amount of circles in each direction. All right, we're going to go back to this one. Elbows underneath the shoulders, bring the legs up. I'm going to extend my legs, keeping them together, and I'm going to circle. Exhale, inhale. No? No music today, but instead we have, if you can hear the storm that's brewing outside, exhale, inhale. Exhale for most of the circle, inhale to finish it off. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, one more. Inhale, bend the knees and pop the feet down. Fantastic. All right, so now we're going to go into the side bend. Start you off on the slightly easier version and then give you the harder option. So if you start with your knees bent up in front of you, the elbow underneath your shoulder, lift your top foot and hook the heel into the ankle of the other foot. All right, make sure this knee stays on the mat. When I breathe out, I'm going to engage my buttocks, lift up through my waist, press my hips forwards and bring my arm up. And then inhale to come back down. Okay, so I'm lifting the waist, pressing the hips forwards, bringing the arm up, and inhaling to come back down. You can stay with that, or put the hand further away, not underneath the shoulder, and the legs exactly as they are, but also a little bit further away, because it's important we are able to extend the legs and engage the inner thighs. It starts the same way with this waist pull up. So we're going to do an exhale, up, and an inhale, down. I'm going to pull up that waist, exhale, lift those hips, lock through with those inner thighs, and inhale, come down. If that doesn't work for you, here, yeah. One more, pull up the waist though, and release. Other side, and you're done with your abs core workout. So start you in this slightly easier position, elbow underneath the shoulder, hand here, keep the chest rotated forwards. Exhale, pull up that waist, press the hips forwards, and inhale back down. Exhale, and inhale. More of a challenge, hand further away, feet further away, and the same thing here. Exhale and inhale, but start with that waist pull up. 2 more, you're nearly there. Last one. And down. Fantastic. All right, so I just want to stretch out the rectus abdominis and just take the body into the opposite movement that we've been working with by doing this stretch here. So what we're going to do is we're going to come face down, place the arms apart, elbows roughly level with the shoulders, legs slightly abducted, natural hip distance apart for your shoulders down away from your ears. On the breath in, pull up your thighs, squeeze your bottom, start to lift your head and chest, but do engage your bottom to help your back and come up to here. All right. If you feel you don't have enough support with your hands in this position, bring your elbows underneath your shoulders and just hold this position here. All right. You just hold that stretch for a little while. If you're comfortable in this position, fantastic. And then come back down. I need you just for a moment to roll back onto your back. And from here, open the arms. Bring easier position, feet together if you have any issues with your back. And on the exhale, let your knees go one way, turn your head the opposite way, but make sure both shoulders stay down into the mat. Nice deep breath in there, and exhale, one more. On the second exhale, come back to the center. If you want to make it just a little bit more challenging, this time with the legs up at 90 degrees tabletop, exhale, go over this way. Again, stay for 2 breaths. And on the second breath out, exhale, up you come. Either hug the knees in, lifting the head and rock up to seated, or roll up through your side. And that is your Pilates, Bodywise Pilates ab core workout. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please always make any adaptations, listen to your body. Your body doesn't feel the same way every day due to injuries, various things. So just take it easy and enjoy. Take care. Hasta pronto.